Janice Dickinson is an iconic A-listers from the 70s and 80s. She wasn't just good-looking, but absolutely captivating, capturing the hearts of everyone with her charm and talent. Get ready for a trip down memory lane as today's video explores the life of Janice Dickinson. Let's delve in. Janice Dickinson, known for her timeless brunette beauty and striking red lips, made a significant impact as a top model in the lively 1970s and 80s. She was on the cover of Vogue 37 times, showing how successful she was. But as time went on, Dickinson had a hard time accepting her natural aging. Instead of embracing it gracefully, she opted for multiple cosmetic surgeries to maintain her youthful appearance. Her extensive cosmetic alterations became increasingly noticeable during her appearances on reality TV shows like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and Celebrity Big Brother. Viewers couldn't overlook her drastically changed look, with critics suggesting she resembled more of a caricature than her original self. Procedures such as breast implants, tummy tucks, and facelifts were heavily criticized, even by the surgeons on Botched, who considered her one of their most challenging cases. Years later, Dickinson appeared at a fashion event in West Hollywood, looking noticeably different, this time more natural. It seemed like a hopeful sign that she might be embracing her true self again. Indeed, it's all part of the journey, isn't it? Janice Doreen Dickinson was born on February 16, 1955 in Brooklyn, New York. She was the second daughter of Jenny Marie and Ray Dickinson. Her mother had Polish ancestry. Janice grew up in Hollywood, Florida, with her older sister Alexis, who worked as a real estate agent, and her younger sister Debbie, who became a model. Dickinson has written 3 autobiographies: No Lifeguard on Duty, 2002. Everything About Me is Fake, and I'm Perfect, 2004, and Check Please, Dating, Mating, and Extricating, 2006. In the early 1970s, Dickinson moved to New York City to become a model after winning a national competition called Miss High Fashion Model. At a time when blue-eyed blondes dominated the fashion scene, she was rejected by several modeling agents, including Eileen Ford, who told her she was much too ethnic and would never work. She first became famous as a model and is claimed to be the first supermodel, although many believe Lisa Fontagrives, who started in the 1930s, was the first. Dickinson was a top model in the 1970s and 1980s, and was a judge on America's Next Top Model from 2003 to 2006. In 2005, she started a modeling agency, which was featured in the reality show The Janice Dickinson Modeling Agency from 2006 to 2008. In 2007, Dickinson was a contestant on the British TV show I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and finished as the runner-up. In 2008, she starred in the reality series Janice and Abby, with British model Abby Clancy. In 2010, Dickinson appeared on the 4th series of Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew, and in 2015, she was on Celebrity Big Brother 16. Fashion photographer Jacques Silberstein discovered her after his girlfriend, actress Lorraine Bracco, said she liked Dickinson's look. Wilhelmina Cooper became her first agent. Her modeling career took her to Paris, France, where her exotic looks made her famous in the European fashion industry. She returned to New York City in 1978 and worked steadily, earning $2,000 per day, nearly 4 times the standard rate. Dickinson eventually signed with Ford Models to get a major ad campaign for a new JVC camera. Remembering Ford's initial rejection, she sought revenge and convinced about 20 Ford models to move to John Casablancas's new elite model management. By the 1980s, Dickinson was considered a supermodel, known for her name and face. She appeared in and on the covers of magazines like Harper's Bazaar, Cosmopolitan, Photo, Vogue, Marie Claire, and Playboy. She worked with famous designers like Bill Blass, Gianni Versace, Valentino Garavani, Azzedine Alaïa, Pino Lancetti, Halston, Oscar de la Renta, and Calvin Klein. She appeared on the cover of Vogue, international editions only, 37 times, and on the cover of Elle 7 times in a row. She was also the face of ad campaigns for brands like Revlon, Alberto VO5, Balmain, Obao, Christian Dior, Clairol, Hush Puppies, Orbit Gum, Max Factor, Virginia Slims, and Q-Tex. As she aged, Dickinson looked for ways to stay relevant in the fashion industry and became a fashion photographer. In 2008, she launched her own jewelry line on HSN. In 2009, Dickinson sang a song called Crazy, written and produced by Craig Taylor. Dickinson says she first used the term supermodel in 1979 and claims to be the first supermodel, but the word was already known in the 1940s. Judith Cass used the term in 1942 in her article "Supermodels Are Signed for Fashion Show" in the Chicago Tribune. Clyde Matthew Dessner also used it in 1943 in his book So You Want to Be a Model. Twiggy was called a supermodel by the New York Times on March 21, 1967, and by the Daily Times of Salisbury, Maryland, on May 19, 1967. In 1968, Glamour magazine described Twiggy, Cheryl Tiegs, Wilhelmina, Verushka, Jean Shrimpton, and 15 other models as supermodels. Susie Knickerbocker, a columnist whose work appeared in many newspapers, called Penelope Tree a supermodel in 1970. The Hour newspaper, in its issue dated April 23, 1971, featured an article titled "Supermodels Reveal Their Beauty Secrets." The article included an advertisement featuring Cheryl Tiegs with the caption, "Supermodel Cheryl Tiegs." It mentioned that the fashion and beauty world had many supermodels, and it speculated that Sybil Shepherd, a supermodel, might become a superstar. Time magazine also called Jean Shrimpton a supermodel in 1971. Vogue did the same for Margot Hemingway on September 1, 1975. Jet magazine did it for Beverly Johnson in 1977, and K.T. McClay did it for Naomi Sims in the 1978 book Total Beauty Catalog. Lisa Fonsagrives and Dorian Lee started their careers before Dickinson was born and are now considered the first supermodels of the 20th century. Gia Karangi and Jean Shrimpton have also been named as the first supermodels. Lauren Hutton, who signed a cosmetics contract with Revlon in 1974, has been called the first supermodel too. Dickinson has made several guest appearances. She appeared in an episode of Charmed titled Still Charmed and Kicking. She also had a cameo in Darren Hayes' music video On the Verge of Something Wonderful. In 2010, Dickinson joined the celebrity edition of the British dinner party competition Come Dine With Me. During the show, she often clashed with former Page 3 girl Samantha Fox over her glamour modeling career and flirted with Callum Best. In 2023, she participated in I'm a Celebrity South Africa, an all-star series for the UK version of the show. However, she had to leave on day 11 due to a head injury that required hospitalization. Despite this, she managed to finish in 10th place out of 15 contestants. In 2023, Janice Dickinson gained attention on TikTok by reacting to models' walks and giving them ratings. She now has over 600,000 followers on the platform. She has reacted to walks of many supermodels such as Naomi Campbell, Shalom Harlow, Carmen Cass, Gisele Bündchen, Vlada Rosliakova, and others. Janice also offers advice to aspiring models on how to approach the industry, especially in terms of their walks and more. In November 2014, Dickinson joined several women who accused comedian Bill Cosby of rape. She claimed that Cosby had raped her in 1982. Dickinson mentioned that she had tried to write about this in her autobiography from 2002, but Cosby and his lawyers pressured her and her legal team to remove the details. Dickinson has been open about the physical and emotional abuse her father subjected one of her sisters to during their childhood and teenage years. Reflecting on her early life, Janice described her father as a rageaholic when asked about her upbringing. "When I refused to engage in intimate relations with him, I faced verbal and physical abuse daily. Because I resembled a boy, it was often said that I wouldn't amount to much. I remember at 3 years old wondering why my dad thought I should have been born a boy. I started practicing karate and swimming, trying to act like a boy. I still practice yoga every day. My mom didn't know how to handle me. I attended Catholic school where the nuns beat me, and at home, my dad beat me for talking back. Even my ballet teacher beat me. I was trying to do the poses, but I kept talking. Back then, they hit you. They just smacked you around. If I saw those nuns today, I'd punch them right back, Janice confessed in a magazine interview in 2006. I might have inadvertently caused the death of my father by throwing away his heart medication while he was on the way to the hospital, she admitted. I didn't tell the doctors. Maybe deep down, I wanted to end the abuse. Despite the constant pressure from her mother, it wasn't always negative for Janice. Her mother enrolled her in various after-school activities such as language classes, ballet, and twice-weekly church visits. At the age of 15, Janice also attended a modeling academy. Describing herself as a tall teenager with a slim figure, she reflected on those days in an article for the Sunday Times, saying, "I was tall, dark, with no curves or anything, and I faced criticism for it from everyone around me. I was 5'10" and very flat-chested back then. I didn't get these tatas until much later in life," the modeling instructor told me. "My appearance wouldn't have made it, but if you want to succeed in anything, you have to believe in yourself. I still have that unwavering confidence. I believe in myself and the people I love." In her career, after winning a national competition called Miss High Fashion Model in the early 1970s, Dickinson moved to New York City to pursue modeling opportunities. Despite trying with several agencies, including Eileen Ford's, Dickinson faced rejection because they preferred blue-eyed blondes at that time. They considered her too ethnic, she was often told. Actress Lorraine Bracco, who dated fashion photographer Jack Silverstein, thought Dickinson was pretty. Dickinson signed with her first agent, Wilhelmina Cooper. Her modeling career took off in Paris, where her unique looks made her famous in European fashion circles. By 1978, she returned to New York City and found steady work, eventually earning $2,000 per day. That's around $60,000 a month, which was a substantial sum, nearly 4 times the average wage for models at that time. A prominent advertising campaign for a new JVC camera led to Dickinson signing with Ford Models. Still stinging from Ford's initial rejection, she was determined to prove herself. Soon after, she switched to elite model management under John Casablancas. Dickinson became a sought-after figure in the modeling industry during the 1980s, achieving significant name and face recognition. She collaborated with renowned designers such as Bill Blass, Gianni Versace, Valentino Garavani, and Calvin Klein. Her work graced the covers of magazines like Harper's Bazaar, Cosmopolitan, Vogue, Marie Claire, and Playboy, with an impressive 37 international Vogue covers to her credit. Dickinson became the face of numerous advertising campaigns, including Revlon, Alberto Vive 05, Thierry Mugler, Dior, Clairol, Hush Puppies, Orbit Gum, Max Factor, Virginia Slims, and Q-Tex. Additionally, she appeared on the cover of Elle 7 times consecutively. Janice's career soared, but she also began struggling with substance abuse. She attributed this to her time as a model in New York, where there was free Coca-Cola and alcohol, if you catch my drift. It was a common thing: limousines, photo shoots, dressing rooms, and other places where substances and alcohol were easily available. In an interview for Oprah's Where Are They Now?, Janice talked about how her substance use began and the reasons she believed contributed to her addiction. She explained, "In the first 5 years of my career, I stayed away from substances. But then I went through a tough breakup with a photographer who cheated on me. I really wanted to hurt myself. I felt like once again I wasn't good enough, not worthy, like what my father used to tell me when I was young." To maintain her relevance in the fashion industry as she aged, Dickinson ventured into fashion photography. Her debut jewelry collection launched on HSN in 2008. Despite Dickinson's assertion that she coined the term supermodel in 1979 and was the first, supermodels already existed in the 1940s. Judith Cass used the term in her 1942 Chicago Tribune article titled, "Supermodels Are Signed for Fashion Show," and Clyde Matthew Desner mentioned it in his book, So You Want to Be a Model. She re-entered the public eye in 2003 when she became a judge on America's Next Top Model. Tyra Banks, the show's producer, recognized Dickinson's industry experience and how she could guide contestants through the challenges of the fashion world. Dickinson became well known as a panelist for her sharp insights and straightforward honesty. She was often perceived as harsh and a bit critical towards the girls. So after 4 cycles, Tyra Banks dismissed Dickinson and replaced her with Twiggy. Dickinson was upset by the decision, stating, "I was just speaking the truth and trying to protect these girls from being told they're too short, too fat, or that their skin isn't good enough." She compared her role on America's Next Top Model to Simon Cowell's on American Idol. She also appeared in Beauty and the Best, alongside British model Abigail Clancy, chronicling her efforts to break into the American modeling scene. The show premiered on May 14, 2007, in the UK on Living, and on February 19, 2008, in the US on Oxygen. Dickinson served as a judge on the Finnish edition of the Top Model franchise. In 2009, she made headlines when she admitted to accidentally mixing a sleeping aid with champagne, causing her to fall downstairs and yell at models while hospitalized. Dickinson was examined and found to have no visible physical injuries. She later apologized to the models on air for her behavior. According to the Daily Mail, she claimed to have had relationships with over 1,000 men. Dickinson has been married 4 times to Ron Levy, Simon Fields, and Alan B. Gersten, also known as Albert Gersten, who are her ex-husbands. She has a son named Nathan and a daughter named Savannah. Currently happily settled with musician Joe Kaplan, Janice, who was 52 at the time, had a colorful past that included numerous relationships with both men and women, including Hollywood stars like Sylvester Stallone, Liam Neeson, Jack Nicholson, Bruce Willis, Warren Beatty, and rocker Mick Jagger. Janice's son Nathan still grapples with the past. He shared, "Some kids used to tease me when I was younger about my mom sleeping with so many famous men and all that, but I'm not bothered by it." He continued, "I often think about these celebrities when I see breakdowns or even stars I don't see breakdowns for. I scroll through Instagram or wherever, seeing influencers or celebrities in their 20s and 30s, living it up, partying, being carefree, and posting explicit videos. At that age, you never think that one day you might grow up, settle down, and possibly feel ashamed of your past actions. Everyone always thinks, 'No, I'll never be ashamed of myself. I'll never change from who I am now, and I'm fine with the choices I'm making.' It's interesting to see how as the older generation who lived that lifestyle in their youth grows up, their children speak out about the impact, how it affects them needing therapy. Many of these same people live with regrets, which is why I say don't dismiss someone who warns, 'Hey, you're young now, but think about the future if you have kids someday. You wouldn't want to be the reason your child needs therapy to undo the harm you caused, right?' Despite everything else, Janice seems like a great mom, as we'll soon see. Nathan said that beyond all the plastic surgery, which he dislikes, and her diva attitude, Janice is a wonderful mother to him and his 13-year-old sister Savannah, who is Jenna's daughter from another relationship. He mentioned that people don't see her as a mother behind the scenes. She cooks herself or arranges for meals to be made. She's a hands-on mom and is also fluent in Italian and French, showing her education. "My mom is a strong alpha female and I often have to tell her no," he said. "But away from the cameras, she's an amazing mom. She can be exhausting, but I love her." That last part struck a chord with me. It's like having that one parent who can be a handful, you know? We all have someone like that in our lives who sometimes needs a break. In 1994, when Savannah was born, Dickinson was involved in a relationship with Sylvester Stallone, and there were reports suggesting Stallone might be the father. However, DNA tests later proved otherwise, leading to the end of their relationship. Janice detailed many of her intimate encounters with both male and female celebrities in her book. she announced her engagement to Dr. Robert Gerner, known as Rocky, a psychiatrist, in 2012, and they married in December 2016. Dickinson's battle with breast cancer was revealed in March 2016, and after undergoing 6 weeks of radiation treatment, the celebrity Big Brother star was declared cancer-free. In an interview with This Morning, as reported by The Mirror, Dickinson shared that she has chosen to use her own experience to raise awareness about breast cancer and women's health. She encourages women to have regular checkups and mammograms to detect any potential issues early for successful treatment. Regarding her surgeries, as reported by The Sun UK and in the past, Dickinson has been very open about undergoing plastic surgery. She has had facelifts, a boob job, a tummy tuck, neck liposuction, and Botox treatments. In 2013, she filed for bankruptcy due to owing over $1 million in taxes and unpaid cosmetic bills. In her later years, she has often made headlines more for her plastic surgery than for her professional achievements, which is unfortunate. Janice was a stunning model, really beautiful, and she still looks great, especially softer now in later years. She mentioned she'd stop getting plastic surgeries if her son asked, and it seems he did. We'll see how that goes. The journey of Janice Dickinson over time is truly remarkable. Seeing how she's evolved from her glamorous peaks to their present-day selves shows a range of experiences. Despite changes in her appearance, her influence on the entertainment industry remains strong. Her legacy continues to shine brightly regardless of how she looks now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates on celebrities. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment below. Thanks again for watching.